think it's really exciting to shoot animals that are dangerous. People in general, like my friends and of course your family, they hear a great white shark and they say, oh my God, what are you, crazy? Everyone thinks you're absolutely nuts to do what you do. I guess you could say I'm pretty hardcore when I'm shooting.
Kat's a little gutsy, yeah. I've seen some stuff that she's done before and I was pretty surprised.
They just have this reputation of a man-eater. But watching them come in today, they're really cautious. We know the sharks attack by day, especially in the early morning hours when the seals are heading out to sea.
I think Kat would like to ride a shark.
Coming, but he didn't veer away. I feel like right now, to get out of the cage, I'm 100% confident.
No one knows if darkness triggers sharks to hunt and feed, and why deep-water sharks rise to the surface when the sun sets, or if sharks are more dangerous to man after dark. To find answers, our team of filmmakers and shark experts will dive with these predators at night.
That was unreal.
Using the latest in night vision, they will go where cameras have never gone to find and film the elusive shark after dark.
Thing is, we know very little about sharks during the day, let alone at night. And in the dark, when you can't see anything, it adds a whole nother element of problems and danger. Our goal is to learn more about what sharks do at night and compare that with what they are doing during the day. I gotta admit, I'm a little nervous about going into the cage at night with the white shark. Somehow, I don't know, it just seems eerie to me.
The white shark may have adapted to hunting in the dark, but this is not the only change these predators make from night to day.
We kept descending and descending, and finally we got to the cage, and I was just like, thank God.
Because these sharks live so deep during the day and only come shallow at night, little is known about their biology and behavior. But they do have massive jaws, feed on large marine mammals, and are capable of bursts of lightning speed.
Before this trip, I had no idea what a six-gill shark even looked like. But now, I can honestly say that after diving with them, I want to go back. I want to learn more.
To study the day-night behavior of the sand tiger shark, the team begins a series of tests at the North Carolina Aquarium at Pine Knoll Shores.
Come on, get out of there, sandbar.
Where cat and shark expert Andy Dehart will attempt a day-night feeding experiment.
The next thing we're going to do is get into the tank with these sharks with the lights on, and then we're going to go in with the lights off. I'm a little nervous about the lights off part. It was intimidating being in there with all those sharks. I didn't know if they were going to tear me apart. My job right now is to go down, pitch black, and photograph Andy hand-feeding a lemon shark. There's about 40 to 50 sharks out here right now. Descending down that line to the shipwreck, I was just trying not to panic and bolt for the surface. Even with the lights, you can only see a few feet. During the day, they're kind of shy and they stay away, but man, at night, they just come right into your camera. All different directions. It's crazy down there.
In the world's most shark-infested waters, even a cage can't completely protect you from the great white shark.
Go, watch out!
Just Jaws.
But without a cage, what chance would a human have with these massive predators?
You can't stop it, you can't fend it off. If it wants you, it's taking you, period.
Now, one shark diver, one cameraman, and one photographer are about to face the most dangerous assignment of their lives: to swim with and photograph great white sharks without the protection of a cage. The great white shark, uncaged. Get in the water with great white sharks.
I would really like to exit the cage and free swim with the great white shark. I think that is one of my ultimate goals, being a professional underwater photographer. Yeah, my mom would kill me if she knew. I can't tell her until the show comes out.
For Kat, swimming with sharks is a far cry from her modeling days in New York City, where she once graced the pages of Cosmo, Glamour, and Vogue.
Before I got involved in shooting underwater and filming underwater, I was in New York modeling and doing TV commercials. And I used to watch Discovery Channel and see these documentaries being filmed and think, wow, that's so cool, I wish I could do that.
Time to go diving.
Okay, let's go.
Here we are at Guadalupe Island. That's all right?
I can't work in these conditions. Seriously. Everybody quiet,
Wake up.
please. Here we go. Ready? On me.
Here we are at Guadalupe Island with Bob. Bob here is going to demonstrate how to swim with a white shark without a cage.
Come over here and poke your eye out.
I'm always the only girl on these expeditions, so I love it because I'm kind of one of the guys. I think the most challenging part about this trip is dealing with all my injuries. I had a really bad car accident with my dad and hurt my neck and also dislocated my jaw, so putting the regulator in has been really hard.
She has been diving consistently with this cast every day, not blow drying it correctly, and tearing the inserts out of the cast, little by little, as the days progress. And every time she does it, she goes, "Don't tell my doctor."
When I'm not shooting sharks, my favorite thing to do is to photograph wild animals in Africa.
This tiny cage has been all that has separated Kat from scores of massive sharks. Now, she faces the terrifying prospect of leaving the cage behind.
They sneak up behind you so fast. And if you are not watching, that's when they're going to get you. So basically, it's the shark that you don't see that you really have to worry about.
He comes straight at you. Have a good look at the shark. Look at his eye. Look at his movements. If he, anytime there's a quick turn towards you with his head, be ready. Man, fend him off. Just be ready, that's all.
I've noticed when I'm shooting one, as soon as I turn around, there's one right behind my head. But it's like they just appear out of nowhere.
Multiple sharks do come in. Obviously, whoever sees the shark behind the other person's back will point him out to him. So we'll make sure that we know at all times the animals that are in the area.
This is the shark Kat wants to ride. Kat dives, but too late. The shark has seen her and disappears into the deep.
The first couple times I tried free diving down, but he kept swimming away. Maybe I'll ride one another day.
Next, the sequel.
The sequel.
Uncaged 2. The sequel.
Yeah.
South Africa, home to an extraordinary population of great white sharks known for their ability to leap from the water in pursuit of prey. California, here the sharks grow huge, massive specimens that reach 18 feet in length by gorging on calorie-rich elephant seals. South Australia, long hailed as the ultimate adventure for divers seeking an up-close view of the most notorious predator in the world. Separated by thousands of miles of ocean, these three corners of the globe are linked by the presence of great white sharks, animals that share many of the same behaviors, but are also known for their remarkable differences. Now, an international team of shark experts and filmmakers travel to each of these three white shark habitats to compare the greatest of the great white sharks. What they witness is a series of incredible, never-before-seen behaviors that will leave them questioning everything they thought they knew about these predators. Jumping sharks were only recently made famous in South Africa, but are virtually unknown in California and Australia. Using a lifelike seal decoy they call Georgie, the team hopes to be the first to record great white sharks blasting from the water off 3 different continents. A worldwide search for the ultimate great white shark. Before daybreak, the team motors out of Santa Cruz Harbor toward Año Nuevo Island. The odds of getting a breach on film seem astronomical. In South Africa, Kerr and his team witnessed up to 20 breaches a day. Van Summeren had only seen a handful of breaches off California in a decade of study. But what seemed like a hopeless task would suddenly become history-making. From the surface, just minutes after putting Georgie in the water, the first shark is spotted. Just 4 minutes into the experiment, a massive great white responds on cue, ripping Georgie from her cable and swimming off with her. From the top, it was equally impressive. Photographer Caterina Gennaro was on hand to capture some history-making images of a great white in a full-body breach off California.
When we first started towing Georgie, I thought the conditions were perfect because there were seals there. It was a nice day, it wasn't choppy, and watching from the camera standpoint underwater, it was towing really well, and I had a very good feeling. In fact, I told the captain, I have a really good feeling it's going to hit. The shark's going to hit this. And he just sat there thinking, you know, how many hours is this going to take? And it took about 3 minutes. And the shark came exploding out of the water.
It had taken almost a year and spanned 3 continents. But the crew had nearly completed their mission of comparing the world's populations of great white sharks.
Inside this book, secrets of sharks are revealed by a man who has spent a lifetime in the company of these predators. A man who can call sharks up from the deep, feed them by hand, and interact with them in ways never before imagined. This is the diary of a shark man.
Makos have a very dangerous reputation. I've heard all kinds of stories, how even when they're hooked, they jump into the boat and they go crazy. You know, they jump up in the air, they're very fast, very powerful. And they attack large game fish like swordfish, who themselves are very dangerous. Cat have never been in the water with a Mako.
They are just incredibly fast, and they come at you from all different angles.
Look out, he won't even come towards us because he sees I'm going aggressive towards him. So I'll get the stick in the picture and then yank it out, you get a close-up.
I used my camera to push away the sharks, but with this Mako, it wasn't enough. He could have taken my camera and my arm in one bite.
But under the water, the situation is clearly getting out of hand. Manny has used food to keep the shark under his control. But now the food is nearly gone, and the shark is still around and still very hungry. Testing the divers one by one, the shark seems most intrigued by Cat.
I was watching this shark buzz around her, and I was feared for her life. I had fear for her life because I knew what I was going through. I knew that I was having to defend myself in order to keep my limbs. I was watching her, and I was watching that shark do the same thing to her, and I was praying that she was able to fend him off. And a few times I thought we were going to lose her.
Seen from Cat's underwater camera, the shark moves in. But Manny uses his very last piece of bait to lure the Mako away. It's time for the divers to leave the water, but a strong current has pushed them far from the boat. The divers band together. While Mark keeps filming, Manny distracts the Mako away from Cat. She is the smallest and, to the Mako, the easiest prey.
The current was so strong, and I was totally exhausted. And then the shark would come in, I'd have to face it off. And every time I did, I would drift further away from the boat.
With Manny holding the Mako at bay, Cat makes a final, desperate push for the safety of the boat.
Grab her! Got it!
This time, the divers escape without a scratch. It was a risky engagement, but the knowledge gained here will be invaluable in future shark encounters.
The promise of a feast, terrible and bloody, has brought a great white shark to her favorite hunting ground. But instinct is calling her, compelling the massive predator to begin a journey that will take her 2,000 miles across the Pacific, where cage divers have recently discovered a gathering point for as many as 100 great whites. The technology has opened a window into this dark world, providing a first ever look inside the jaws of the Pacific. Clear water, warm temperatures, and a seasonal white shark population that may be second to none are what draw divers to Guadalupe. And the sharks may be drawn here to prey upon the large schools of tuna that visit the island in the summer. Of new technology at their fingertips, researchers may now be able to solve the many mysteries of the great white shark. Mysteries that continue to surprise and fascinate us as we follow them into the deep.
I love Africa and getting up close and personal with big animals. But sometimes I get in a little bit of trouble and will go undercover to photo these guys. We have 2 elephants. For better or worse, welcome to our honeymoon in Africa. Well, we just arrived at, what's the name of this camp?
Matusadona.
Matusadona.
Water wilderness.
Water wilderness. We'll see lots of hippos and crocodiles and elephants and rhinos. And we're staying somewhere out there on the lake.